would be stated so I could understand how in the world we got here.
It would be the same treatment you get back in return. I don't need
let's
you.
get this
I'm not your
over with.
family. I'm not your
Okay,
son.
I'm pregnant with your child, but I really want to go pursue a relationship.
All you had to do was call.
I get so angry at myself. Like, I don't ask him for money. I don't ask him for anything, but
She was your daughter, or were you writing to her because you just passing the time?
Angela Monroe, a terminally ill woman, opens her soul to the court. Her son, Herbert Monroe, departed this world in 2015, and in a cruel twist of fate, Shaneka Reed reveals she's carrying Herbert's child. Angela, seeking solace in the truth, turns to the court to confirm if Ayanna Monroe, born in 2016, is indeed her granddaughter. Get ready for a roller coaster of emotions as we uncover this complex and heart-wrenching family saga.
The court recently received the following submission from the plaintiff. My name is Angela Monroe. My son Herbert died on January 27th, 2015. After my son passed, a young lady named Shaneka Reed, which is the defendant, told me that she was pregnant from my son. The baby was born on May 31st, 2016.
The drama is sky high as Angela unravels the tale of Jerome, her cousin's son, seeking refuge for his pregnant girlfriend Shaneka due to Angela's poor health. What was supposed to be a brief stay spirals into a maze of complications.
Had you met Ms. Monroe? Did you meet his mother?
Yes, I did meet her.
And he introduced you as his girlfriend, or?
No, friend. And the thing about that was our apartment, me and my son's apartment.
No,
Do we really?
You even said this is Ian's apartment.
When
She
you get
referred
an
to her
apartment,
as Ian because
when
that's
you
his middle
get an
name. She
apartment,
said that.
it's two people on the lease. So my name and my son's name.
Tensions flare, and the courtroom becomes a battleground as Angela and Shaneka lock horns over conflicting timelines, doubts, and a storm of disrespect. Judge Lake, the mediator in this emotional storm, strives to restore order, unraveling the threads of truth surrounding Ayanna's paternity.
Financially with Iyanna.
They supposed to. I told you I wasn't doing nothing else because the way you talked to me until you got a DNA.
And that's fine. Iyanna's still good. We still good. We only here to collect the benefits that you recommended I collect.
I said that only way you get anything is if you do a DNA. You don't get nothing until you do a DNA.
I didn't even know that I could collect benefits.
Yes, you.
Hold on to your hearts as Angela takes the stage, testifying about her complex relationship with Jerome Reed, the father of her late son's child. Secrets, tensions, and a web of hidden truths unfold before us.
But you were saying to him, listen, I'm pregnant with your child, but I really want to go pursue a relationship somewhere else?
I was not pregnant yet. That's the thing. I became pregnant the week after I told him that.
I have to ask you, is there any chance that the other man...
Me and this person was communicating over Facebook and on the phone. Me and this person has had no physical contact.
But you just said you
Right.
and him was gonna live together.
Angela confesses her initial plan to leave Jerome, but life takes an unexpected turn with Ayanna's arrival. The courtroom buzzes with anticipation as the judge addresses the burning question of paternity, ordering DNA tests to unveil the truth. Brace yourselves, the results are about to be revealed.
Oldest child was born.
So listen, we can see now that this was not a committed relationship, and we know now, Ms. Monroe, this is not something you were fully informed about before your son's unfortunate passing. I need to know now, what are your hopes?
I just really want to know if Ayanna's my granddaughter.
And if she is, are you hoping for a grandmother-granddaughter relationship? Do you want to be
I'm gonna be
in her
honest
life?
with you. I don't even know if we can go there.
The courtroom transforms into a haven of raw emotions as Angela, a terminally ill mother, finally embraces the truth about her son's second child. A wave of closure washes over her, bringing with it a mix of sorrow and relief. Despite earlier tensions and arguments, the judge, in a moment of solemnity, stresses the importance of setting aside personal conflicts for the sake of the innocent. Angela, with a heavy heart, extends her heartfelt wishes, expressing hope that Ayanna will have the chance to know her grandmother. The court adjourns, leaving us with puffy eyes and drenched tissues.
The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Angela Monroe and Ayanna Monroe is 99.98%. I know you needed it.
Yes,
And you have been through
a lot.
what every mother every mother's worst nightmare.
We've got Miss Bailey and her daughter, Miss Parker, suing Mr. Parker for a whopping $3,691.50 in childcare expenses. But get this, Mr. Parker is Miss Parker's estranged husband, and he's denying he's the father of her 4-month-old son, Zachariah. He hasn't given a single penny for the baby's expenses. It's about to get hot in here.
Ms. Bailey, you and your daughter are suing the defendant for $3,691.50 in child care expenses. Mr. Parker is your daughter's estranged husband, and he denies paternity of your 4-month-old grandson. You claim he hasn't even given your daughter a single penny.
Now, Mr. Parker's defense is basically, go find the real dad and sue him instead. But wait, there's more. He's demanding a paternity test because he's convinced he's not the biological father. Did he write all of this down on a napkin during breakfast? Because wow, we've seen better defenses on school playgrounds.
Is to take their lawsuit, find the real father of the child, and sue him.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're seeking the results of a paternity test because you say you do not believe you are 4-month-old Zechariah's biological father. Ms. Bailey, tell me about your lawsuit.
Well, Your Honor, I've come here today because Mr. Parker has done nothing, not a single thing for my daughter or my grandson. He left her when she was 16 weeks pregnant.
Miss Bailey is fed up because Mr. Parker ghosted her daughter when she was 16 weeks pregnant. He just up and left, folks. And Miss Bailey, she's been playing super grandma, taking care of the baby, buying formula, diapers, you name it, while her daughter is working on her 2nd college degree. Talk about a super mom and super grandma duo.
To hold the baby when he cries and comfort him. Not him, he's living the way he wants to. And my daughter is going to college. She's working on her 2nd degree, not her 1st, but her 2nd degree.
What type of relationship has he established with Zechariah thus far?
Nothing. Zero. He doesn't even know what he looks like. He's never laid eyes on him.
You don't even know what he looks like, Mr. Parker?
But Mr. Parker, he claims he was practically kicked out of the house, told he wasn't worth anything, and couldn't even eat with the family. And the kicker? He says Miss Parker started wearing makeup to pay bills and meet neighbors. I mean, makeup, people. Honestly, does Mr. Parker even know what century he's in?
So they would have enough to eat.
Bottom line is, you two were in some type of relationship.
We were married, Your Honor.
Married.
We still are.
Yes, we are married. Yes.
What led to this entire situation anyway, whether you left or you got ran out?
First it started, she'd start wearing makeup and everything. She was wearing it to church. It ain't so funny. She never wore makeup before.
And
she
I
started
still
wearing it just to go to pay the bills, run out to go over just to go see the neighbor.
The drama doesn't stop there. Mr. Parker comes home one day to find a padlock on the bedroom door. But Miss Parker's got a reason. She says it's because she was hiding Christmas presents for her 8-year-old who still believes in Santa. Mr. Parker thinks there might be dirty photos or something fishy going on. The suspense is insane.
I'm not going to let him go in there and see what he's getting for Christmas because he still believes in Santa.
Then why did when I asked you so I could go in there and go in
You didn't
the
have
bedroom?
anything left in there.
Because you threw everything out.
Did you lock your husband out too?
I locked that bedroom door because I didn't trust him and didn't want him in that room. He didn't have anything in there. I didn't see a point in him going in there.
What did you think was going on in this bedroom, Mr. Parker?
And here's the real kicker, folks. Mr. Parker wasn't even told about the baby's birth until a week later. He wasn't at the birth. He's never seen the baby, and he's been paying for a lawyer for a DNA test. He's cut all communication, wanting to handle things legally. But wait, there's a witness. Mr. Parker's mom, Miss Perez, steps up to the plate and throws some shade. She claims Miss Parker would dump Mr. Parker at his mom's house and only call him back on payday. And she hopes the baby isn't her son's because she doesn't want him tied to Miss Parker for 18 years. Ouch!
Message on her answering machine because she hadn't told us anything.
Did you accompany her to doctor's appointments?
No,
Were you
Your Honor.
I was
actively
not allowed
involved?
to, ma'am. I was told I was too annoying and I needed to stay home. At this point, I didn't know if she was taking another man or family or who.
Miss Parker, did you tell your husband he was annoying and needed to stay home and you didn't want him to go to your doctor's appointment?
I told him that I didn't need somebody holding my hand at a doctor's appointment.
And ma'am, I'd like to enter into evidence the birth certificate. It has on it that...
Please let me see that birth certificate.
Now, Miss Parker's got receipts, literally. She hands over a list of expenses for baby Zachariah, totaling $3,691.50. But Mr. Parker is sticking to his story, saying he's not the daddy. The tension in the courtroom was thick, and just when you think it can't get any crazier, the judge asks for the birth certificate. And what do we see? Refused. The baby's dad is a mystery man.
Born within your marriage. And
Yes,
yet,
Your Honor.
as I review your evidence,
And this shows that I was not even on the certificate, and this is a federal document that was not shown that shows that she lied to the doctors, lied to the hospital, and lied to me.
She didn't lie to them.
I didn't lie. The hospital, didn't put him on the birth certificate because of the marital problems, because of what I had experienced. He wasn't allowed at the hospital.
Let me be clear.
Fast forward to the big moment, and the judge was ready to reveal if Mr. Parker was the father or not. You could hear a pin drop in the courtroom. Everyone was on the edge of their seats. The DNA test results were in, and it was time for this dysfunctional couple to know the truth.
Mr. Parker, you are his father.
I told you.
Told you.
It was difficult to watch a husband and a wife go at it like that. And then just when I thought there was very little hope this could work.
Buckle up, because today we're diving into a paternity court case that's got more twists than a pretzel factory. We're talking about a 22-year-old paternity mystery, and guys, this one's a tearjerker.
For today, because you say she hid the identity of your father from you for 14 years. Now today, there's a man waiting outside of the courtroom that your mother believes could be your biological father, yet you still have no idea if that's...
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Hall, you admit you let your daughter believe that the man who raised her was her father, knowing that it was a lie.
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Curtis has been living a lie for 14 whole years. She thought one man was her daddy, but nope. Her mom, Miss Hall, had been keeping the real tea on the DL. And guess what? There's a dude outside the courtroom who might be her real pops. Talk about a daytime drama.
My grandmother, she sat me down and she said that she wanted to tell me the truth about who my father really is to be, and that my mother has been lying to me for the past years of my life, which was 14 years old, and that the man at the time was not my father. She said to me, I want you to take it to your grave if your mother never owns up and tell you yourself. And I said, okay. And I felt that it was the truth because I always felt like I was adopted.
Miss Curtis tells the court how her grandma dropped the bomb on her, revealing that her whole life was basically an episode of Who's Your Daddy? She always felt like something was off, like maybe she was adopted because her dad was colder than the Arctic.
That it was the truth because I always felt like I was adopted. My father, he really never really showed me the affection, the love at all.
Actually, Your Honor, yes, I did not tell my daughter at a young age about who her father was. Simply one, because I was a young girl. I was pregnant at the age of 15. I gave birth to her when I was 16 years old. When I was 15, I met Kirk, and Kirk lived pretty much like a fast lifestyle.
Now, Miss Hall has a story that's wilder than a roller coaster. She got pregnant super young at 15 and was messing around with a guy named Kirk who lived life in the fast lane. But when she got knocked up, she wasn't sure who the father was. Drama! Fast forward a bit, and Miss Hall has her daughter believing another guy is her father. But then she switches up the story faster than a DJ at a club, throwing yet another name into the mix. Miss Curtis had no idea what was going on.
And Kirk lived pretty much like a fast lifestyle.
Okay.
And, which attracted me to him. And being young, at the time when I got pregnant, I didn't even know that I was pregnant because I didn't know anything about the body.
You didn't know what it meant. You were just so young.
Yes.
And then what happened?
About a month passed by, and I would say I started my cycle, and I was like, oh, wow, I was shocked. Okay, well, maybe I'm not.
I'm not.
Finally, her mom comes clean and says, actually, your dad's name is Kirk, and Miss Curtis is vindicated. The courtroom was shook when Miss Curtis revealed she'd been pen pals with Kirk while he was in prison. She's trying to bond with the man who might be her father, and those letters are packed with emotions. Kirk was out there making promises like a politician during an election, saying he'd be the father she always needed.
Anna already told me. She told me another name. She didn't tell me Kirk's name. She gave me another name. So I said, oh, I'm just so happy. I'm going to call Nana and I'm going to tell her that such and such is my dad. And then she goes, oh, no, I need to tell you the truth. I said, well, what is the truth? I thought you said such and such is my dad. She goes, no, really, your dad's name is Kirk.
Plot twist! Miss Hall wrote a letter to Kirk but never sent it. Then someone else in the family found it and mailed it off. It's like a mystery novel up in here. Judge was serving up the truth like a hot plate at a buffet, trying to get to the bottom of this paternity pickle. And Kirk? He's in the courtroom now, talking about how he wasn't sure if Miss Curtis was his because Miss Hall had other guys on the line.
When Tamika initially told me, hey, I'm pregnant, you're the father. But as I remember, she was also in a relationship with someone else. That was actually convenient for me, being that I was with somebody. So, I'll take my part. Hey.
Miss Curtis is feeling all the feels, saying her mom and Kirk are like professional liars. She's been tossed around in a sea of lies, and she's just trying to find a life raft of truth. So here we are, hearts racing, palms sweaty, waiting for the big reveal. Will Kirk step up to the plate? Is he the father? Or is this just another episode in the never-ending saga of Miss Curtis's life?
Mr. Whitaker, you are her father. How you feel, Miss Curtis?
I feel really good. I'm really happy to have my dad.
You are?
I'm overwhelmed. Yeah.
I'm happy for her. And I just want to see the best. I just want the best for her, and I want her to.
Well, you know what I think is wonderful about the truth? That the truth, I always say, is the most important foundation we can all stand on.
All right, so picture this. Miss Mackenzie is accusing Mr. Guy of bailing on her and their daughter, Ania, right after she was born. And get this, she claims he's denying paternity because he's already got a football team worth of kids, plus the bench. We're talking 13 kids, folks.
Mackenzie, you say Mr. Guy abandoned you and your daughter, Anaya, soon after she was born, and denies he's her father only because he already has too many kids.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Guy, you say you knew this wasn't your child from the moment Miss Mackenzie said she was pregnant. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Mackenzie, when did you first realize that he denied he was your daughter's father?
Well, when I told him that I was pregnant, he kind of like was shocked a little bit. Then he was like, she gonna be my 13th daughter, like.
But wait, Mr. Guy only mentioned 8 kids. And then, plot twist, he suddenly jumps to 13 when she tells him she's pregnant. Talk about a numbers game. The audience was buzzing when Miss Mackenzie dropped the bomb that she went to college with one of Mr. Guy's kids. And get this, Mr. Guy is 45 and Miss Mackenzie is 28. The crowd lost it.
We was in college together with one of his kids. And then like when I
Wait,
asked him
how
about
old
that-
are you?
I'm 28.
And how old are you, Mr. Guy?
45.
Oh boy. Okay, so when did you realize he was denying your child? That he said this is not my child?
After I had her, he was at the hospital and everything. When he brought us home, he just like basically set her on the floor in her car seat. He was like, I gotta go run an errand. And he never came back. So he just left her there. Like he just left us there for like months.
Now here's where it gets juicy. Miss Mackenzie says that after she brought baby Ania home from the hospital, Mr. Guy just ditched them. He said he had an errand, but the dude went MIA for months. Can you believe that? Fast forward, and Mr. Guy is claiming he's been avoiding her calls because she was, and I quote, harassing him. But come on, man, she's just trying to get you to be a dad.
And you had to trick him. You had to call him from your friend's phone so
And
he
he
wouldn't
answered.
recognize the number
Yes.
for him to answer because he had not been answering your call.
Yes.
Mr. Guy, have you been avoiding her calls all that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why?
She was harassing me.
Harassing you about what?
Baby this, baby that.
'Cause
I'm
she's your
like,
baby.
That ain't my baby, you know.
Okay.
It's milkman's baby, somebody's baby,
Milkman.
but it wasn't mine.
Excuse me.
Why did you say it wasn't yours? Were you sleeping with her?
And Mr. Guy has the audacity to say that the baby doesn't deserve anything from him. But wait, put down the pitchforks, folks. Let's get to the bottom of this first. According to him, he saw Miss Mackenzie with some other guy in a car. But Ms. Mackenzie claimed that the guy in question was just a friend giving her a ride. This is getting interesting.
She was sitting in the car with somebody, and they was there for a while because we was sitting up there watching them. So
What were they doing in the car?
I thought they was having sex.
Really?
Can I say something? That night that he's talking about, I called him and he told me to come over to his house. When I got there, he was not there. So when I was leaving, my friend that lives down the street from him saw me and gave me a ride. We were parked by my house, in front of our house, talking.
Were you sleeping with anybody else while
No.
you were having? What is this relationship? Are you all boyfriend and girlfriend or
No.
what?
Now here's where the plot thickens. Mr. Guy starts playing detective, saying he caught Miss Mackenzie coming home at midnight when her classes ended at 4:55 p.m. He even brought a schedule to court as Exhibit A. But Miss Mackenzie had an alibi. She was working a night job cleaning offices.
45. Went to pick my son up and came back home and did my homework, and I did that every day. As far as him saying I got home at midnight, when I was going to school, I was also working third shift, cleaning college offices downtown.
I don't remember that job.
Because you weren't there. You even
Remember
told me
that.
his friend even worked there with me. His friend worked there with me. He makes up stories because he has to make me look bad for the fact that.
So what you're
that's
saying
bad.
is you were not sleeping with anyone else?
No. I was
There's
not.
no other possibility.
No.
Mr. Guy?
I think it's a lot of possibilities.
But wait, there's more! Mr. Guy talks about this mystery man on the couch at Miss Mackenzie's place, and she's like, who? I don't know this man. It's like a soap opera, folks. Then Miss Mackenzie's mom steps up and she's fuming. She's calling out Mr. Guy for clubbing and vanishing for days while denying her granddaughter. And let's be real, the guy's got a track record of Houdini acts.
He goes to the club, he might not even come in for 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days?
Yes.
What's with all these disappearing acts, Mr. Guy?
He
I
wants
was
to be
stressed.
a magician.
You were stressed.
Yeah, she stressed me.
He says I stress him because I feel like if we're adults and we live together, we're trying to build a family, you should be doing your part as much as I'm doing my part. If we're a unit, we're a unit. And if he's slacking, I feel like I should have to build him up if he's slacking. I'm gonna tell you, get it together. If I'm stressing you, it's because I wanna help our family.
So, Judge Lake is trying to make sense of Mr. Guy's story. And let's just say, it's not looking too good for him. He's on the birth certificate, but he's all like, that's not my signature. Yeah, right, buddy. Miss Mackenzie is heartbroken, saying she just wanted a family. And Mr. Guy hasn't even seen Ania in 2 years. That's right, 2 years.
You never executed anything.
No.
Just somehow your name got up on that birth certificate.
He held my hand through birth.
I'm just
He
saying
said
where
he was
the
the only
signature
person
at.
there.
I don't.
He was
I
the only
see it
person
typed
there
up
when I had
there.
my daughter. He held my hand during birth.
And then just dropped you off at the house.
Like we was nothing. Like we was nothing.
Why did you even come to the hospital? If it wasn't your child, why even show?
Because he was at my house. Because he was living there. He was at my house when I went into labor. I went into labor at home.
The tension is through the roof as Judge Lake receives the DNA results. Everyone's on the edge of their seats. Will Mr. Guy step up or will he keep running from responsibility? Let's find out.
Are her father. Now what, Mr. Guy? Speak.
I feel pretty much ashamed. I would like to be a father to her.
When's the last time you saw her?
Maybe 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Let me tell you something. Get yourself together.